So first of all, thank you, donator from the coffee page, for ordering this reading. This is a reading on Lucas from WAYV and NCT and his ideal type or ideal partner. As always, I like to preface this with saying I have a Patreon. I got a lot of my more juicy readings up there. V and Jenny friendship reading, Chris Wu legal problems, AOA member friendships, and kind of how that's going, allegedly. Yeah, we have the coffee, we have the Patreon. I also do personal readings on the Etsy, so if you're into that, let me know. You can always go to my Instagram at Sky and Thread and ask me any questions you have there. I'm happy to answer them. Sometimes it takes a couple days for me to get back to everybody. I do check it, so just give me a little bit of patience and I'll get to you. Yeah, so I do work a full-time job as well as do this, so I'd love to be able to quit soon. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. As always, tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only, so please take everything with a grain of salt. When I do these kind of readings, I do a layered reading where I'm going to do a personality archetype and then like a clarification card on why this person or this archetype would be good for Lucas. It's not about who the person is. It's about what type of person they are or what type of person Lucas would need in his life. That's the kind of reading this is. So if you're looking just for a love reading or some information on who he's dating, that's not what I do. So just before you get any further in, you know what you're in for. Thank you for sticking around. Here we go. Go ahead and shuffle these bad boys. I do about 6 of each card. Otherwise, I notice the readings just kind of get too long for the YouTube algorithm. Kind of if you want a longer reading, I can, you know, if there's interest in longer readings like that, I might list them on my Etsy and see what you guys think of that. But until there's kind of demand for a longer ideal partner reading, I'm just going to go with what I know, what YouTube has deemed it likes the best. And I try to keep readings around 30 minutes or less. So I don't know if you guys knew that's why my readings are the length that they are, but that's why. Honestly, I think the algorithm is liking shorter and shorter videos because of the other clock app. So, but 30 minutes is about, 20 to 30 minutes is about the best I can do for a short reading. Otherwise, there's no point. So, all right. So Lucas, let's go ahead and find out Lucas's ideal partner. Okay. I don't know if I've done Lucas in specifics ideal partner. I know I have other Lucas readings, and so I will make sure those are linked while this video is going on. I believe it'll be in this top corner. Should be. Whoa, okay. And as always, you know, I try not to be rude or disrespectful if I see negative traits coming up, but I will try to be as honest as possible. So if you don't like seeing any negative traits about your idol or the hardships they may be facing, that's also something I would warn you that, you know, might come up. So make your decision as you see fit. So then I'm going to go ahead and pull 6 cards for these. For the clarifiers, these will not be, you know, like these have some reversals. I allow reversals in this, but these will not be. These are strictly clarifiers, so I don't need reversals. I know it may not make sense to everybody, but that's how I do it. Okay. And if you're interested in what decks I use, this is the Caroline Miss Archetype cards. And this is the, oh goodness, what is this? I believe it's the Earth Magic Oracle. But, okay. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. And I will read off a little bit of these archetype cards, but understand that's just a jumping point. I will intuitively branch out from there. So don't take what the card says verbatim. It's meant to spark intuition. So, all right, first card. So we have a shadow attribute for the Samaritan, which is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer and stillness. So it may be that Lucas is kind of performative in his help for people. He may have issues with being a little selfish from time to time. And I think it's a problem because when you're living a life that's kind of like go, 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 people just demand stuff from you all the time. You kind of you have to put yourself first because no one else is. And I think what's recommending here is a partner who can appreciate the stillness of life or take him away from like the busyness of an idle schedule, to kind of refocus and calm his mind in a way. So, and if they're not dragging him away from idle life, it's almost like they're bringing that stillness by their presence. Like they could be the one constant that he can go back to kind of calm down, recollect, and not have to worry about like a lot of the stress of everybody always wanting something from you. Right, because it's like he has to focus on what he wants all the time. And even that can be draining. Some people think it's great, but that can be really draining too. So he needs someone who brings quietness, stillness, that kind of maybe... that side that's like the rock, the side that listens to you and doesn't judge you, like that emotionally stable aspect. Like he needs it. I feel like he has a life of chaos and he needs someone who can quiet that chaos. And then we have Eternal Child, and in the light, it's determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes and passion. So it's also someone who matches his level of passion for things. It doesn't have to be the same things, but also they it's like they hype him up. They hype up his goals and the things he wants to do in his life, and they also have this passion for life that they do. Either they're artistic or they're I kind of see travel, but it's like they have this zest for the world and for creating that matches his. Like that's why they're a match. And that also, like, constantly creating keeps them kind of young at heart. It's like they understand, like, a lot of people start to feel old when they don't keep up with what's young and hip, like in music or media or whatever. They start to, like, they retreat from trying to keep up with what's new, and they just kind of get their comfort shows and then they stay there or whatever. But this is a person who kind of keeps up with like the line of what's trendy and fashionable and that kind of thing. It's like they have that cutting edge like aspect to them in a way. And I see creation too, so I keep seeing a creative person. We have engineer in the shadow, which is reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. And creation. So Lucas could definitely feel like he's stuck in some situations, stuck in a rut. This is not just creation, but creativity. Again, we saw with passion. So it may be encouraging him to express himself in other creative avenues, not just singing and dancing or whatever. He's kind of been a cog in the machine, when it comes to idleness. And that's the way he's been trained, is that, you do A, B, and C to get to D. And maybe he needs someone to come and like shake up that formula for him and remind him that he's in charge of his own destiny. There's a lot of like step away, remember what your passion is, and then go for it. Like there is no right, the rules don't exist. The rules are made up. Someone made up the rules. You can make up your own rules. It's like that kind of like really open-minded feeling. So then we have Green Man and Synergy, and the Thief and Shadow. So stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Now, I've done readings on Lucas and his situation and why he went on hiatus, and I even called that he was going to be on a hiatus for a while in one of my really old Lucas readings. And in this, I do, again, we have the heart with the thief. This is someone who, I believe Lucas did play with some people's hearts. Whether that person and their allegations were true or not, that's a different video. But I do believe Lucas had a reputation as being a bit of a playboy. And I think it's just because his life moved way too fast for most people. Like, he could have his fun, but no one was ever going to keep up with all the things he was supposed to be doing. Like, it's near impossible. He has an entire team to move him along. He even couldn't move that fast if he was on his own, so no one else is going to. And Synergy talks about, like, yeah, you can't expect people to keep up that fast. You have to work at bringing them along. Like, there has to be a give and a take. And I think this is showing that the person or Lucas himself is going to finally realize that he needs to work on having those connections, bringing people with him, keeping those relationships intact while his life gets ramped up again. Because I get the feeling he's going to be back soon. Like, pretty soon. I think before the end of the year, but we'll see. So yeah, this time when he moves along, he can't just ghost on people. He can't just leave people behind. He needs to make sure those friendships and his partner have that fully stable connection. Now, I don't think he has a partner at the moment, but I do think once his life ramps up again and he starts getting right back into his idol life, eventually he's going to want a partner. And when that happens, he needs to remember this. That it's a give and a take, and you can't just run and have a whole machine pushing you and then expect this other person who doesn't have a machine behind them to keep up with you. You have to help keep them along. So that's something he needs to learn. Then we have Vampire in the Shadow, which is depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. And this is about breath, but it's also forest, right? A forest isn't a forest. Like, one tree alone is not a forest, right? And the entire forest helps it. Like, trees communicate. Trees actually, forests can, like, up and slowly move together over time. Like, those roots actually can grow in multiple directions. So I think what this is saying is, remember what you bring in, you're having to share that with other people. Like, there's the codependency part in this really stands out for me. And while the tree is a part of the forest, you also have to, have your strong foundations and your strong trunk, and you have to stand up too. You can't expect when things go bad that everyone just covers for you. Like, and I don't know if that was an expectation he had. But this also makes me feel like, in the same way as you have to be strong and have that foundation, once you do, that makes people want to help you. They see you doing for yourself, so then they're more inclined to do for you. And it's almost like, once he gets that strong foundation, then he'll have people that are going to help him kind of when he needs it. He can stop and take that breath. He feels like he doesn't have to keep running or he'll fall, right? Because breath also reminds me of, like, that stillness, like that you need to stop and kind of appreciate the people around you or the help you're getting or what's going on in your life. Like, you're a tree in a forest, and you have to remember that. You have to remember that you have all these people around that are going with you, and, like, those connections need to be strong, but you also need to stop and appreciate them. So it's a lot about him working on his connections with people, and that in turn is going to help him have that better connection with his partner. I mean, and it goes both ways too. It means that's something his partner is going to expect and also do in return. So a lot of these things are, there's similarities he'll have, but also, like, viewpoints he's going to need someone to help express to him. And then we have Artist in the Light. So expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. So again, this is almost like the creative and the stillness will come together eventually. And then stone people and vigilance. So, you know, like years of experience coming together. Now, it could just mean that this person is also some kind of artist, which I kind of got from these cards as well, is that they're some kind of artist. They may not be the same kind of artist he is, because I think they're more of this quiet, like, people watching type of artist. Like, they're kind of in the background and they watch people a lot. But they also have some kind of experience to offer, some kind of like wisdom to offer from seeing the same things happening over and over again. Maybe not with Lucas, but they've seen, you know, they've been around that type of person and they've seen what either fame or poor communication or whatever it is that's stifling him, what he's going to need to move forward. So either they're, because they're an artist, they kind of understand the artistic mindset, but there's also something here about like seeing the big picture, using your artistic eyes and your, you know, understand, I want to keep wanting to say symbolism, but the symbology, I guess, of like the big patterns in life, and like taking that bigger, broader look at painting with a broader stroke in your life, and understand that you can get lost in minutia. Like, you can get lost in the details. It's the big picture. It's the big strokes in your life that are truly going to matter. That's where you need to put your effort. Again, that strong foundation. Even in art, if your base idea is bad, it doesn't matter how great your details are. So I think there's some of that too. And just a vigilance is just to be watchful and careful. You know, again, stop, look, appreciate, connect, and then push forward. Like, there's a lot of that going on. So I also get the feeling artist I get the feeling Lucas might end up with a person who's slightly older than him, because there's a part of this that feels more experienced than him in a lot of this, like someone who has a little bit more experience in these things to kind of help him again see the bigger picture. Someone who's been around longer to see the big picture. So either they've worked in kind of the artistic industry longer than him, or they're just older than him. It's something like that. There's more experience there. So that I do see. But that's kind of what I have for Lucas's ideal partner. So thank you again for ordering this on the Coffee page, donator. I appreciate you. I did up my prices just slightly, just because I've got a lot on my plate, and also, I think I have enough proof in my readings to show that I'm worth it. You know, it is a donation. So these are just rewards for donations. And also my Patreon tier for videos is now $10, or has been since I started Patreon. So I just wanted to make that unilateral, so people feel like they're getting the same thing. Patreon does offer different rewards. Like, you will get more exclusive content over there, because I'm just more protected on Patreon than YouTube to talk about certain topics. And, you know, we're a closer knit family over there, but I want to make it so if you're getting a video from me, it's pretty much the same price range all over. So yeah. And also gives you different options. If you like choosing your videos, coffee may be the option for you. If you like just kind of seeing what's spicy and in the news and want readings on that, then the Patreon may be for you. So it's two different kind of realms, but I recommend you definitely check on what's going on over there. And, you know, Patreon's month to month. So if you join 1 month and you're not happy with it, you know, it's only $10. So you can, you know, leave whenever you want. So yeah, if you have any questions, hit me up. I'm Sky and Thread on Instagram. Also, I try to read and reply to any comments here that aren't just requests, because I think I make it pretty clear how to request videos from me at this point. And yeah, so let me know if you have a question. I hope you're having a great day. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.